Living with a Gambling Addict by Patricia de León. Dedicated to all the individuals who suffer due to the addiction of someone close. Introduction. This is a true story, one that I have experienced firsthand as a family member of a gambling addict. I never imagined that gambling addiction would become a part of my life, but I had no choice in the matter. Now that my father is no longer with us, I can share how I lived through his addiction. I can now recount with more emotional distance and without resentment what I felt. And I have decided to do so because I would like my testimony to help others who may be going through something similar. I have experienced how gambling destroys those who play and their surroundings. It was years filled with mixed emotions: pain, anger, hatred, despair, compassion, sadness, helplessness. I imagine those who are living under these circumstances will feel identified. Addictions are a harsh test for the addict and their family. It is very painful to witness a loved one self-destruct, and at the same time try to understand what drives them to inflict so much harm on themselves and others. For the compulsive gambler, their sole obsession is gambling, and except for rare exceptions, they do not stop to think about the suffering of those around them. I believe this is common to any addiction. I will not claim in these pages that my father quit gambling, because that would be a lie. I am convinced that there are solutions, but they only work if the compulsive gambler is willing to make an effort. It was difficult for me to accept this, but sometimes there is no other choice. I also understood that despite everything, life goes on, and that, although the problem is always there, one can and should be happy. If I had known certain things about my attitude and way of reacting beforehand, I believe I would not have taken so long to make certain decisions, and I would have saved myself a lot of emotional distress. When I had to confront this situation, I found that there was little literature dedicated to the family members and other close individuals of the compulsive gambler. I contacted several specialized associations where I found good intentions but little hope, because, according to the people I spoke with, it was almost impossible for an elderly person like my father to quit gambling. Unfortunately, they were right. But what do you do when you have an absolute emotional blockage and don't know where to start or what steps to take? How do you know what is best for everyone? How much can and should you help? Where is the limit? If you are reading this book, I suppose someone close to you has been caught up in gambling. Or perhaps you are the compulsive gambler yourself. I hope that in these pages, you find ideas that inspire.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?